want you to remember that God's created everything you see. He breathed it into existence. You remember when his people were caught up in slavery? He rescued them. What he did was he parted the sea and he made a way for them, and then he delivered their enemies to them, and he unlocks wombs, and he provides water from a rock, and he provides manna from heaven, and he brought down the walls of Jericho. He froze the sun, allowing victory. He's toppled giants with tiny stones. He's brought fire from heaven. He's shut the mouths of lions. He preserved life in the belly of a well. He's fed thousands with a few loaves. He gives the weak strength. He heals the sick. He's made the blind see, the deaf hear, the mute speak, the lame walk, and he's overcome evil, and he's made a way through death for you and me by the death and the resurrection of his son, Jesus Christ, that we will live with him forever. We will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever and ever and ever. What are we afraid of? His resume is flawless. He controls everything. And he loves you.
So speak life to the deadest, darkest night. Speak life, when the sun won't shine and you don't know why. Look into the eyes of the broken hearted. Watch them come alive as soon as you speak hope. You speak love, you speak life.
Hello there, from our home on the head of the branch of North Skinner Creek. I'm JMakinson. My family has had this land since 1958. It's a long time. Not as long as some, but longer than others. All that to say, 4 generations have enjoyed it, shared it, worked and played, cried and laughed. It's not about the land. It's about us being together. Some have lived here, some have just visited, and some even got married here. We've done it all together. That's what family is about. Seth Greenlee says there are 2 families on earth, the family of God and our personal family units. I want to talk a little bit about both, but today we'll emphasize God's magnificent family, his church. The first can only occur one way. Listen to this. Romans 8:15 and 16 in the New American Standard. For you have not received a spirit of slavery leading to fear again, but you have received a spirit of adoption as sons, by which we cry out, Abba, Father. The Spirit himself testifies with our spirit that we are children of God. In the Amplified, for the Spirit which you have now received is not a spirit of slavery to put you once more into bondage to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption, the Spirit producing sonship, in the bliss of which we cry, Abba, Father, Father. The Spirit himself thus testifies together with our own spirit, assuring us that we are children of God. And in the Message paraphrase, this resurrection life you have received from God is not a timid, grave-tending life. It is adventurously expectant, greeting God with a childlike, "What's next, Papa?" I love that. God's Spirit touches our spirits and confirms who we really are. We know who he is, and we know who we are, father and children. We're not the black sheep of the family, nor the red-headed stepchild, just children of the Most High God. We are assured kids because we have entered the family legitimately through Jesus, the Son. In John 10, verse 9, New American Standard, I am the door. If anyone enters through me, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture. In the fold, the family, There is fellowship. Together we enjoy green pastures, as one of the translations states it. And green pastures includes all kinds of security and solace and relaxation and restoration. It's a good thing to be in his family. Together, we enjoy green pastures. We weep with those who weep and rejoice with those who rejoice. We share life because we are related. In all languages, there is a word that expresses a feeling we call lonely. Loneliness is the opposite of God's desire and design for his family, but it's a word in our vocabulary because it's a problem that really exists in people. Most of us have experienced some form or sense or degree of loneliness in our lives. God has a solution. It's called being together. Perhaps a bit challenging in some ways in our present circumstance, but can be experienced just the same. In Acts 2:44, today's English version, all the believers continued together in close fellowship and shared their belongings with one another. In Ephesians 2:19 through 23, the Living Bible, now you are no longer strangers to God and foreigners to heaven, but you are members of God's very own family, citizens of God's country, and you belong in God's household. You belong in God's household with every other Christian. What a foundation you stand on now, the apostles, the prophets, and the cornerstone of the building is Jesus Christ himself. We who believe are carefully joined with Christ as parts of a beautiful, constantly growing temple of God. And you also are joined with him and with each other by the Spirit and are part of this dwelling place of God, joined together with him. We are his church. We are his family. We are not alone. In whatever way you can and still feel and be safe, connect, communicate, console, comfort, and pray for each other. As your family unit and his growing family of believers in Jesus. And don't forget, love one another. But before you go, all of this inspiration came from the book of Ruth, and I would encourage you to read it. Susanna, our daughter-in-law, gave me 2 children's Bible story books, and I read them. I read that story about Ruth and Naomi and Boaz, and I was just really blessed by how God brought family in so many different circumstances and in so many ways to bless his children. And so, be together. Enjoy each other as best you can, and be blessed. The Lord bless you and keep you. Amen.
You were the Word at the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you are Christ. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a beautiful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus. My sin was great, your love was greater. What could separate us now? What a wonderful name it is. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a wonderful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus.